Weird.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
With all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is gonna be so awesome today. I had explosive diarrhea all night. I like big boobs. Oh, hamburger.
Why is Rachel Zegler mad at South Park?
Excuse me, your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? Did know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement.
To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse. Disappear.
But it's hard, and it's lonely. It's very lonely.
And take the patriarchy with you. Seriously, go away, stalker. You're weird.
Weird.
Rachel Zegler, a name that has become synonymous with bold performances and outspoken views. After her critically acclaimed role in West Side Story, Zegler quickly became Hollywood's rising star. But recently, she's found herself at the center of a fiery controversy, one that involves not only her role as Snow White in Disney's live-action remake, but also a high-profile clash with the creators of South Park. You see, it wasn't just about being cast as a Latina Snow White. It wasn't just her critique of the classic 1937 film. It's the moment when she turned to South Park and demanded their satirical episode mocking Disney's diversity agenda be banned, calling it hate speech. But what sparked this fierce reaction? Let's take a closer look at the drama that unfolded, how Zegler took center stage in a cultural debate, and the lasting impact of her words.
I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy.
This truly is the worst casting, maybe, in the history of the film industry.
Spend 1 minute on Snow White and how it totally imploded at the box office.
During the 2022 D23 Expo, when the world was eagerly awaiting Disney's live-action remake, Zegler wasn't just excited to be part of a beloved Disney legacy. She took the opportunity to openly critique the 1937 film, describing it as problematic and outdated. Snow White needs a refresh, Zegler said. She didn't stop there. She called the prince's pursuit of Snow White in the original film stalker-ish, suggesting that the portrayal was antiquated and didn't reflect modern sensibilities about consent and autonomy. To some, this was a brave, much-needed critique. To others, it was a direct attack on the Disney legacy. After all, Snow White is one of Disney's foundational films. How could anyone say something so controversial about a timeless classic? The backlash from fans was swift, with many defending the original film as a beloved piece of cinematic history that shouldn't be dissected in such a public manner.
Make more woke films that tank at the box office. They are more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea.
You know the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie, and I believe it only made less than $1 million in China.
It's a fair-skinned, blue-eyed princess, hardly an accurate reflection of modern-day diversity. Zegler, who is of Colombian descent, was cast as the iconic princess, a decision that generated waves of controversy in the media. Some viewers celebrated the move as a step toward inclusivity, seeing it as a positive shift toward diversity in Hollywood casting. After all, this was the era of rethinking traditionally whitewashed characters. Others, however, questioned whether such casting choices were being driven by a desire for political correctness rather than authenticity. They argued that Snow White, as a character, should remain true to her historical roots, and casting an actress of a different ethnicity was just another example of Hollywood trying too hard to pander to trends. This sparked a wider conversation about the balance between diversity and maintaining the integrity of original stories. Zegler's casting, combined with her outspoken views, only added fuel to the fire. Enter South Park, the beloved animated series that has never shied away from controversial topics. In their special episode, Joining the Panderverse, South Park took direct aim at Hollywood's diversity initiatives, mocking how studios have been reshaping iconic characters to reflect modern-day sensibilities. The show's creators satirized Disney's approach to casting by showing characters of color replacing traditionally white figures, poking fun at the industry's recent efforts to cater to social justice movements. While the episode did not specifically mention Rachel Zegler by name, it was hard to ignore the parallels to Disney's casting decisions, especially regarding her role as Snow White. In South Park's usual style, the episode didn't pull any punches. It made fun of the entire Hollywood system and the perceived pandering to political correctness. For some, it was just another typical South Park episode filled with biting humor. For Zegler, however, the show crossed a line. The satire felt too personal, and it seemed to mock not just Disney's approach, but her very identity and career choices. It didn't take long for Rachel Zegler to respond.
Weird.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
Upon hearing about the South Park episode, Zegler was enraged. She immediately took to social media, demanding that the episode be banned. She described it as hate speech, accusing the show of publicly humiliating her and mocking her involvement in a project she was deeply passionate about. In an emotional statement, she expressed how the episode made her feel diminished and ridiculed, given how much effort she had put into making Snow White a modern, empowered character. Zegler's fans quickly rallied behind her, expressing their support for her decision to speak out. For many, her response was an act of defiance, standing up against a media culture that seemed intent on mocking her success. However, not everyone agreed. Many argued that Zegler was overreacting to a satirical show known for pushing boundaries. South Park has always been a vehicle for irreverent humor, and its critiques have rarely been personal. Yet Zegler's demand to ban the episode sparked an ongoing debate about the limits of satire and freedom of expression. As the drama unfolded, the reactions from within the entertainment industry were split. Some industry insiders and supporters of Zegler's stance praised her for taking a stand against what they viewed as harmful, unwarranted satire. They believed that the South Park episode had crossed a line by directly mocking a real person and reinforcing harmful stereotypes. They saw Zegler as a victim of a media landscape that often targets people in the public eye for cheap laughs. On the other hand, many others felt that Zegler was missing the point. South Park has always made fun of everyone, celebrities, politicians, and social movements alike, and the general consensus in the industry was that no one should be exempt from the show's satire. Some people, particularly within the comedic community, argued that Zegler's attempt to censor a satirical show could set a dangerous precedent for free speech and comedy. The conflict between these two perspectives reflected a broader divide in Hollywood, one that grapples with where to draw the line between creative expression and respect for individuals. Public opinion on the matter was fiercely divided. Zegler's supporters saw her as a brave and vocal advocate for her own dignity, praising her for standing up to a show that, in their view, was undermining her success and her role in a major Disney film. They believed she had every right to demand respect and to push back against content that they deemed harmful. Critics of Zegler's response, however, argued that she had overreacted and misinterpreted the intentions of South Park. To them, the show's purpose was to poke fun at Hollywood trends, not to personally attack Zegler. They argued that satire, by its very nature, is meant to critique the absurdities of the culture, especially when it involves powerful institutions like Disney. The backlash against Zegler also reflected a growing frustration with what some people see as a culture of oversensitivity in the entertainment industry. Was she really a victim, or was she simply unable to laugh at herself? The public debate over Zegler's reaction mirrored larger societal questions about freedom of expression and the role of humor in addressing serious issues. Zegler and South Park is part of a much larger conversation taking place within Hollywood. The entertainment industry is in the midst of a significant cultural shift, with increasing attention being paid to issues like diversity, representation, and the responsibilities of creators when it comes to portrayals of race and identity. Zegler's situation serves as a symbol of the evolving landscape, where actors, filmmakers, and content creators are being called upon to address the lack of diversity and inclusivity in their work. But the same movement that advocates for representation also challenges the boundaries of satire and humor. As Hollywood continues to push for more inclusive casting, it faces backlash, not only from fans who feel nostalgic for the old ways, but also from critics who argue that the push for diversity is becoming more about political correctness than true artistic expression. Zegler's public response to South Park reflects the tension between these competing forces, and how artists like her are navigating the complexities of fame, social justice, and the modern media landscape. As the dust settles from this intense feud between Rachel Zegler and South Park, one question remains on everyone's mind. What's next? Is this just a bump in the road for Zegler's career, or is this the start of something much bigger? Will Hollywood begin to listen more carefully to the voices of actors like Zegler, who demand more respect and representation, or will this controversy further divide the entertainment world? Thank you for watching. You were with Eli Moonstone. Until the next video, stay tuned and stay curious.